How long can I awkwardly sit here for? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello! Welcome to another one of my listening party streams. I am Levi Clay, your host for this. And this evening we are going to be listening to No More Tears, Ozzy Osbourne's 6th solo album, second album featuring Zakk Wylde, and an album which I think many of Ozzy's fans consider to be his best album. Many of his fans consider it to be his best. Certainly a big commercial success. Of course, it was supposed to be his last album, so he he just keeps making them albums, doesn't he? The No More Tears album, and then the tour that he did around the world after this was called No More Tours, and that was supposed to be him, and yet this was in 1991, I might add, 1991, so 29 years ago. That's right, yeah, 29 years ago was supposed to be his last tour. Hello, Cowcat. Hello, Neil Collins. Hello, James Taylor. How is it going? Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, what have I got to report? You know how these work. In fact, if you are one of the few people that's watching this at this stage, there's a link in the description. Head on over to Spotify, queue up the album, get ready to listen to it so we can all listen to it together. I am not going to play the music over my stream because that would be copyright infringement. That would be unreasonable. That would be unfair. That would usurp the market. That would not be fair use. Reaction videos are parasitic, but I like doing these things where we can engage with each other and talk about music and relive some earlier memories, and also have a much more objective listen to things that you've maybe heard many times before. Hello, Sam Ambrose Taylor. How's it going? Right, what have I got to report before we do all of that? So I uploaded a new video today. I did a poem. I wrote this while I was sat in the house last night before a lesson. It took me maybe half an hour to write it. And today I was like, well, why don't I just record that poem and see how that goes? And I managed to get it down in one take, which is cool. So one take, no edits, 4.5 minute poem laughing at Lance Benedict and TTM. You should watch the video. I'm very happy with how that one turned out. Kind of highlights what I really do here on YouTube, which is, I just want to make people laugh. I want to entertain you. Fill your day with a little chuckle, right? Hello, Simon Hannah. How's it going? And Paul, is that Symes or Simes? Hello, how's it going? Good to see you. Tuning in. I appreciate it. If you are new to these listening party streams, thank you for tuning in. If you are an experienced listening stream visitor, and I guess this will be the 7th one I've done now. So they're not my most popular videos, but the people that do watch them, they leave me lots of nice comments saying that they really enjoy the format. So obviously I will keep doing them because of that. If you are a long-time listener or a 7-time listener, probably no one's a 7-time. If you have been listening to these for a while and you know that you are in for a treat this evening, then I would encourage you to please share this video, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram. Is that a thing? Share it on Reddit, share it, just get it around, because the one thing I can tell you about these streams, they are so much more fun when you have more people actually watching them. They are so much more fun when I can engage with people in the comments, reflect and talk about the things that I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. What is that? Kunglurkst. Neil Collins makes a great point there. Have you seen the fake Ozzy and Zakk vid on the TTM YouTube channel? Of course. When I started going after TTM, that was the only video of TTM that really existed. That was their only promotional video, and it is absolutely atrocious. It's absolutely. I would love to put it on, but I don't want to poke the bear. I've already made enough fun of Lance Benedict. So yeah, a little bit of an update on the last video. So obviously we did No Rest for the Wicked was the last Ozzy album that we streamed, we listened to, and I assumed that it was going to overtake Diary of a Madman as being number one. In actual fact, what I ended up doing was, if memory serves, I might be wrong on this, but I'm sure what I said on the stream was I put Diary of a Madman, then No Rest for the Wicked, then Blizzard of Oz, then The Ultimate Sin, and then Bark at the Moon. On reflection, I listened to the album again the next day when I went out for a walk, and it dropped down. It did drop down. I think when I did the live stream with it, I was excited to hear it because I'd not listened to it in so long. But on a second listen on that walk, I really felt that feeling of this album gets more boring as it goes on. Like, it's great at the very start and it just keeps going down. Whereas Blizzard of Oz doesn't do that. I think Blizzard of Oz is consistently very good, although it's a bit mixed in terms of its themes. It sounds like an album of someone that isn't entirely sure what they're going for musically. They're just trying a few sounds, but you'd expect that. It was his debut solo album. So I have reorganized that a little bit. We definitely had Diary of a Madman at the top, followed by Blizzard of Oz, followed by No Rest for the Wicked, followed by The Ultimate Sin, followed by Bark at the Moon. Yeah. These things happen. So Evan says, been looking forward to this one. No More Tears was the first Ozzy album I bought, and it had a big impact on me at the time. Haven't listened to it in full in several years. I think that's the magic of these streams, isn't it? I've also not listened to this album in full in several years, probably a decade. Justice 100. Love the Ozzy series. Great fun. Oh, yeah, man, I'm really enjoying these. So thank you very much for tuning in. Alex License. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, we'll call you King then. All right, fine. Hello, Henrik. How's it going? Right. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about. Oh, yeah. Wouldn't be one of my streams unless I did some shameless self-promotion. Big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. You keep these streams coming. I'm going to move my chair over a little bit off center. Big thank you for your support. If you would like to check me out on Patreon, there is a link in the description. Love, kindness, and generosity over there goes a long way. It means that I can spend even more time doing these streams and even more time, making videos rather than doing transcription. Got a cool job just come in transcription-wise. We're doing some more cracking the code Troy Grady stuff, which will be fun, and in talks with Kiko Loureiro. So that could be a lot of fun. And yeah, you guys make that a lot easier. So if you don't want to do that, you can of course head on over to Amazon and have a look for Levi Clay. Have a look for my name, and you will find one of my many books. I have several books, lots of books. Worked really hard on writing lots of books, and I'm very proud of all of them. So if you would like to buy one, leave me a nice review on Amazon. It's very much appreciated. That's your usual stuff. A couple more comments. Paul is online. I'm looking forward to this one too. In my memory, this was the best songwriting and production. Chris says he'll be right back. Cram your fat ass into some skin tight bell bottom jeans. Well, when your ass is as fat as mine, all jeans are skin tight. It's just the nature of the bit. You just keep getting bigger jeans, and the second you put them on, they just seem skin tight. Based on playability and songwriting aspects, which Ozzy guitarist would you say takes the edge between Randy Rhoads or Jakey Lee? Let me read that one more time. Based on playability and songwriting aspects. Oh, Randy Rhoads, without a shadow of a doubt. The best song that Jakey Lee wrote with Ozzy was Bark at the Moon. Outside of that, it's probably Shot in the Dark, and obviously Jake wasn't the sole writer on that. So, yeah. As far as beyond that, I would say the song The Ultimate Sin is pretty good. And I would say Slow Down is pretty good. Well, it's very good. I like that song a lot. Honestly, for me, that's as far as Jake's credit writing-wise goes. I don't really rate the songs as highly as Randy's writing efforts. When you look at Randy's writing, Believer, wonderful tune. Diary of a Madman, wonderful tune. Revelation, wonderful tune. Did that funny noise get... Did we just turn the gate off? Hello. Is that any better? Sorry, what was I saying? Jakey Lee. Randy. He just has a shit ton. I think his writing quality with Ozzy was considerably higher. you look at all of their songs. Crazy Train is one of Ozzy's best songs. Mr. Crowley is a great song. Like I say, Revelation is a wonderful song. I like Believer. I'm not crazy on Suicide Solution. But I Don't Know is a great song. Flying High Again is a great song. Like he did write a lot of really, really good songs. And yeah, I don't think Jake's writing was quite as high in terms of the standard. Yeah, let me read through now. I'm going to go through the Wikipedia page for No More Tears. This will give you guys, if you've just tuned in, it will give you an opportunity to head on down into that description below. You will find a link to No More Tears on Spotify. You can open the album up and you can listen to the album along with me. I will not be playing the music over this stream because that would not be fair use, would it? That wouldn't be reasonable. So, No More Tears is the 6th studio album by English heavy metal vocalist Ozzy Osbourne. It's funny, now he's starting to be called heavy metal vocalist because I think earlier he was... It's when Zakk joined the band that he really becomes a lot more heavy metal. I think before that, everything was kind of rock and roll. I'm going to read that comment because I just saw it. I have to disagree about the song Killer of Giants, though, dude. For me, it's one of my personal favourite pieces of time. Neil, is there a degree of heavy nostalgia that comes around that? Like, did you get the album at a time where that particular song was really influential to you? Like, the question I'm asking is, obviously it means a lot to you, and I'm not saying that is irrelevant, but what I'm saying is, let's say 50 years from now when we're dead and gone, kids or fans of music, etc., are they going to listen to Killer of Giants and go, wow, this is an incredible piece of music when they compare it to other things? Yeah, let me keep going. Released on the 17th of September 1991, so this would have been the first Ozzy Osbourne album that was released after I was born. The album charted at number 17 on the UK Albums Chart and number 7 on the US Billboard 200 Albums Chart. No More Tears spawned 4 singles, which reached the top 10 in the US Hot Mainstream Rock Tracks chart, including the number 2, Mama I'm Coming Home, the Grammy-winning track I Don't Want to Change the World, along with 1980's Blizzard of Oz. It is one of Osbourne's 2 best-selling solo albums. As I said, I knew this one was considered by fans to be one of his best, and yeah, I have to say, I'm not crazy on the artwork for the album. I like when I look at Ozzy Osbourne in the, cover, right? When I look at Ozzy on the cover of that now, all I can visualize in my mind is Gautier, the singer that did Somebody I Used to Know. This looks like it could have been an offshoot. Let's just take the fucking noise gate off then, shall we? How's that? That should be better. That shouldn't be shouldn't be bad now. It does mean you'll have to listen to my breathing, but such is life. So yeah, don't like the album artwork. The only thing I don't like about the album artwork is, why has he got a wing coming out of his back, and why is it such a tiny wing? You know what I mean? Why is he's never going to be able to fly anywhere with that wing. That wing is useless. Like, come on. Oh, you know what it might be with the gate? My microphone might not be hot enough. Let me try that again. Now my microphone's a little bit hotter. I shouldn't get caught by the gate so much. Right. I'm gonna adhere to your feedback, guys. So if this isn't working for you, please do let me know. I won't start listening to the album until you say that it's good. So yeah, to me, he looks like Gautier is Somebody I Used to Know. Let me pull up the video for that. I do this. Move myself out of the way. Everyone remember this song? To me, Ozzy on the cover of No More Tears just looks like this. Now I look at it and all I see is that. So yeah, that the album artwork has kind of been ruined for me, which is That is true, Neil. You can people do love the old ASMR. I actually I started gating all of my videos for that reason, because I wanted I didn't want people to get a sexual kick out of my videos. I'm handsome enough without you. Yeah, I'm a treat for the eyes. There's no reason for me to be a treat to the ears as well. Right, let me keep going. So one of Osbourne's 2 best-selling albums in North America, having been certified quadruple platinum. Double platinum as well. Quadruple platinum by the RIAA and double platinum by the CRIA. It was Osbourne's final album to feature drummer Randy Castillo and longtime bassist and songwriter Bob Daisley, which is, going back and listening to all of these albums, it's fascinating to really understand how much of a part of Ozzy's sound Bob Daisley was. He has absolutely shaped the way Ozzy, the way his band sounded. This is the last one featuring him, which is, they'll be sad to listen to the next one without him. Having said that, the next one might be my favourite Ozzy album. So, right, looking at the background of the album, guitarist Zakk Wylde contributed songwriting to the album, while Motorhead bassist and vocalist Lemmy Kilmister wrote the lyrics for 6 songs. However, only 4 of those were used on the album. Although Mike Inez appeared in the album's videos and promotional tours, longtime Osbourne collaborator Bob Daisley plays bass on the entire album. Inez is credited as a writer for the title track, although he does not perform on the actual recording. The intro bass riff was composed by him. That's really interesting. Like, why? Surely, I guess it's possible that he was working with multiple bass players, but very, very odd that he was he must have been involved in the project and he wrote the bass for that part. But then why did Bob Daisley record it? Crazy. The 2002 reissue of No More Tears featured 2 additional tracks entitled Don't Blame Me and Party with the Animals. Both tracks had originally been released in 1991 as B-sides. And according to professional wrestler and Fozzy lead vocalist Chris Jericho, when asked about the title of the song AVH, Osbourne told him that it stands for Aston Villa Highway, an homage to the football team that he and Black Sabbath bandmates followed as young men growing up in Birmingham. And looking at the reception, No More Tears received positive reviews from critics and is considered to be one of Osbourne's best albums. Loudwire ranked the album number 22 on their list of top 90 hard rock and metal albums of the 90s. Number 22. Ultimate, you know what? I kind of want to see what placed higher than that. Let's have a look. Ultimate Classic Rock included No More Tears in their list of the top 100 90s rock albums. They also considered it to be Osbourne's 3rd best album, only behind his first 2 albums. Classic Rock also considered it to be Osbourne's 3rd best album. Right, I'm on the Loudwire article. Let me take a look what they have put at number 1. Well, do top 10. This is Loudwire's top 10 rock and metal albums of the 90s. So 10 by Pearl Jam, Rust in Peace by Megadeth. I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. Dirt, Alice in Chains, the Rage Against the Machine self-titled album, Tools. What is that? Enema. Yeah, I'm not a Tool fan, sorry. Green Day's Dookie, Metallica's Black Album, 9 Inch Nails' The Downward Spiral, Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power, and Nevermind by Nirvana. So yeah, that's an interesting point. When did Nevermind come out? Because I know these are obviously both the same year, but they're dramatically different albums, aren't they? Nevermind came out in September. Oh, wow. Wow. No More Tears literally came out a week before Nevermind. So there you go. That places it in terms of hearing when it came out. Okay, that's PayPal. I like it when people send me money. I actually have a PayPal donation link, and I never ever mention it on stream. So I never mention it on anything. So I like it. Right. I think we're done there. I think we're done in terms of talking about the album. Make sure you've got this album queued up. I've got it on Spotify, and I'm going to listen to it in a second. Inez was in the videos and tours, and I think as well as Osmosis. I could be wrong. Osmosis, it's Geezer Butler on bass. So Inez was, he was certainly played in the band and toured with the band, but it was Bob Daisley. So, yeah. On the personnel for the album, Mike Inez is credited as bass and inspiration and musical direction. Did not perform on the album. Oh, fine. So there we go. Right, let me bring up the album on Spotify. Double check that I've not fucked the audio settings up because we wouldn't want to play the music. Zakk can play some wicked country licks. Wish he'd do it more. I don't think Zakk plays any good country licks. He plays good southern rock licks, though. Zack's never going to get by in a country band, is he? Right, so here is the album. Let me move my face up here. And I'll do this. So, right, if we're wanting to listen to this, how long is this album, actually? Let me just check that. This one's about an hour long, so, buckle up. Based on the fact it's an hour long, I'm going to crack on because I don't want to be here forever. So, we're starting the album in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is such a weird song. It really is a weird song. Because it's clearly about paedophilia, isn't it? Would you like some sweeties, little girl? Come a little closer. I want to show you a brand new world tonight. Or what's the other lyric? I've got the kind of toys you've never seen, man-made and a bit obscene. Little angel, come and sit upon my knee. Like, not a good look for you, Ozzy. And it's odd because unlike like Bloodbath in Paradise, where he's obviously talking about like the Manson family, this isn't clearly about anyone in particular. So it's like Ozzy's just assuming the role of a paedophile. Do you like the song though? Hello, Slide. This riff is great. Are the drums going to be better on this album? Because it's Randy Castillo on this album as well. Still think the drums are really lacking. Love those arpeggiated chords behind that bit. That's what we need. Vocal harmonies. Ozzy needs more fucking vocal harmonies. I told you, T-Wick, the album link is in the description. That high vocal harmony in that chorus is so good. It's got a rasp to it. Mr. Tinker Train. Obviously, I don't want to belt the volume out, but it's got a real rasp to it, which is kind of cool. Be the same. Crunch Race End. And of course, such a great compositional tool, right? When you want a lyric, when you want a phrase to have some importance or grab your attention, put a vocal harmony on it. So the fact that there's a vocal harmony on just that one line, super cool. How's it going, Hoser? Take a train. And the what's the high note on that? That's a cool note. I need to check the harmony on that, but it's not what you'd expect it to be. Drum solos are always boring, yeah. Can you say Mr. Tinker Train? This is a great solo on this track as well. What's with that fucking... What even is that? It's like a reverb with phase on it, on the drums, on the snare. Awful. It's a single track solo. Major pentatonic. This solo is a masterclass in rock phrasing. Absolute fucking masterclass in rock phrasing, that. Totally not metal, is it? It's like that's a rock guitar solo. Very cool. And I feel inside, Mr. Take a Train. Where would you expect that to go? It would be Mr. Take a Train. No, it does feel right there, but it's like a major quality, and I like it. That's why they call me. That's why they call me. Now Ozzy's call me. That's why they call me. This song ends quite abruptly, though, doesn't it? If my memory serves correctly. Yeah, just super abrupt ending like that. Honestly, I think Randy Castillo's drumming is terrible. It sounded like that single stroke roll on the hi-hat was just out of time. So this song won a Grammy. That drum fill just sounded out of time. Like, am I crazy? There's being lazy with your grooves, and then there's being incompetent, and this is veering onto incompetence for me. Those little major pentatonic fills are so cool. Want to change me. Vocal harmonies. Always with those vocal harmonies. Zakk definitely has a lot more chorus on his rhythm guitars on this album. Let's listen for a drum fill. That was okay. I don't want the world to change me. I don't want to change the world. I don't want the world to change me. Guitars get a little bit more kind of present there, if you like. Another great solo now, right? He does a lot of that on these first two Ozzy albums, the tap, bend, and release. Double tracking on that, which is cool. Acoustic part, really nice acoustic part. And you know if this was a Jakey Lee era album, there would be some fucking offensive keyboards over this bit. And thankfully there isn't. There's a light on it. I hope and pray I'm here to stay, yeah. And no harmony on the last line. Yeah, man, like, so far, Zakk's playing on this album is just spot on. His playing is definitely better than on No Rest for the Wicked. I don't want the world to change me. I don't want to change the world. I don't want the world to change me. Yeah. Double tracked solo there. Yeah. Okay. Another popular song for Ozzy. Now, let me check the writing credit on this. Because Ozzy is off. I certainly remember Ozzy talking about writing this, like, about Sharon. Lemmy's credited as a writer on this, so. This is one of the Ozzy ballads that I can deal with, you know? I'm okay with this. Double track vocal, classic Ozzy. Keyboards are okay. Oh, changes there. Right. The bass playing the melody, nice. Fretless? Is that fretless? Got that moi to it. Fucking so good. Guitar harmony parts, nice. It's the same principle that I was talking about on the last couple of albums. It's beautiful. Yeah, so just songwriting. You could pick up an acoustic guitar and you could strum the chords to this song, and you've got a song just with the vocal melody and the chords. It is a song. They've then arranged it into a rock thing, but it is a song. Great solo too. Chromaticism at the end there. Classic country rock lick, southern rock lick. Turned around by the fire in your eyes. Trying to see where you guys have gone. There you are. Nearly lost you. So 3 consecutive tracks with just loads of major pentatonic rock licks. Nice. Dun, 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 dun. Is this Foo Fighters all my life? All my life I've been searching for something. Something never comes, never leads to nothing. Nothing satisfies, but I'm getting close. Closer to the prize at the end of the road. All night long I dream of the day when it comes along. Well, okay, yeah, you get there. My head bar, it's alright. Harmony, it's okay. Nice. They don't know like I know. Able desire. Vocal harmony kills it there. Absolutely slays it. Burning like fire. Actual tingles down the spine listening to this. It's so good. It genuinely is that good to me. So I also like in, was it before the second chorus, when the band cuts out and Ozzy's vocal, where he just shouts out, "Life's amazing," which is kind of nice. I like that. It's alright. It's okay. I don't know. Like I know. No? Ah. Honestly, guys, look, my cheeks hurt because I'm smiling so much. Excellent. Apparently, there's a race car. Ozzy laughing in my right ear. Major pentatonic, man. Oh. Slide guitar, pan left and right. Very cool. It was great. It's great. This album is a fucking masterclass in rock guitar. It just is. I think like it's very cool to hate on Zakk Wylde now in 2020, right? But just listen to his guitar playing on this. Sure, like this was fucking 30 years ago, 29 years ago, right? No, like Jimmy Page is boring now versus where he was fucking 30 years ago. Like guitar players, when they have a style, it becomes stale, right? But just go back and listen to this. Jesus, like there's a reason Zakk is as well known as he is. This is great. I'll go one further than that, Evan. I didn't forget how good these solos were. I never noticed how good these solos are. I'm going to predict that Time After Time will be the. Obviously, I don't take into account the bonus tracks, the B-sides. I'm going to predict that, yeah, Time After Time will be the song that I don't feel needs to be here. I mean, it's a very common rhythm there, All Your Dreams. Da-da. That was great. That was a great tune. Now, of course, one of the Ozzy classics. Classics. One of the greatest rock guitar solos of all time. I can say that with absolute confidence. Don't at me. Maybe a bit of a long song because it's over 7 minutes long. But yeah. Slide guitar. Drops the slide. Picks the slide up. Drops the slide. Good amount of chorus on the rhythm guitars there. It's kind of cool. It gives Ozzy's voice enough room to like do his thing, and then builds. Might say maybe the track's a little heavy on the keyboards, but. And I made the recommendation last time when talking to Tailed Feature. Keep nearly doxing him there. The Black Label Society version of this track is fantastic. Those pinch harmonics are just ridiculous, aren't they? Harmony on? Yeah. Just on Can He See Me? Of someone screaming, yeah. No more tears, no more tears. I love the song. What is it about though? You know what I mean? Like it sounds like it's about a murderer. It sounds like it's about a sexual assaulter. Because of course there's that, like maybe a kiss before I leave you this way. Your lips are so cold, I don't know what to say. It definitely, it's a bit rapey, isn't it? Now, as a kid, the first time I heard this, I was like, "What? What? Oh, it's a new song." No, it's not. It's just they put a really cool middle section in this song. So, Philip, this is his first time listening to Ozzy. You are about to hear one of the greatest rock guitar solos of all time. Or the whale song now. It sounds like whale song. Right. Solo. Not a word from me. Ah. Ugh. Belter. I nearly put Zakk Wylde in my slide book, in my latest slide book, just for this track. This is a very young Zakk Wylde. Let me check how young. Oh, hello. Get rid of that. So it was recorded between 89 and 91. So Zakk Wylde would have been between 22 and 24 on this. My darling. Think I'm falling here. And it's worked for him, hasn't it? Like, on the rest for the Wicked, where he's 21, he's still a great player, but he's got a lot of fire. He plays some really cool guitar solos on there, but there's a lot of like got something to prove playing, if you like. He's then gone out with Ozzy, gone out into the world, toured the world, played in front of tens of thousands of people regularly, and he's just, I think, listening to this, he's just had a certain level of confidence injected into his playing. So I think when I listen to this album, there's a lot less to prove, and there's a lot more authority with everything he plays. Like he's comfortable playing the right thing rather than, you know, being Ozzy Osbourne's new guitar player. There we go. That's the song No More Tears. Moving on to Won't Be Coming Home. I don't remember this song, I don't think. Yeah. Probably the weakest song so far. That guitar though, oh. Don't leave me on my own tonight. Nice little harmony on that guitar part. Yeah, I think of this song as being just called Sin. Philip, it's all Zakk Wylde. There's no other guitar player. It's all Zakk. Well, they didn't release this as a single, so probably not a song that the label pushed. The label pushed I Don't Want to Change the World. Obviously, that won a Grammy. Mr. Tinker Train was a single off the album. No More Tears was a single off the album. And Time After Time, the other single off this album. Yep. Can't make it alone. Don't leave me on my own tonight. Time After Time. Yeah. And Road to Nowhere. 5 singles off the album. So they released 5 singles on the album, and this wasn't one of them. Oh, it's that shit tone that Zakk has sometimes. Is that the Lee Jackson? Yeah, not the best tone on that guitar solo, but perfectly. Yeah, it does the job. Telling us we got a swing feel or shuffle. I mean, that could be an extreme song, couldn't it? Not the best guitar tone. Eraser. Not crazy on the guitar tone on this one. Not crazy on the verse, but I do like the chorus. But the overall sort of production of the arrangement isn't grabbing me. It's got that classic Randy Castillo, doing fuck all on the drums thing. And I don't like that. I'm squeaking. I can't sing tonight. I'm squeaking. It's dragging a little bit now. That's the problem with an album this long, you know, it's an hour long. Hello. Double tracked, of course. That's a good question. How old was Ozzy when he did this? So Ozzy was born in 1948. So he's what, 40, probably 42 when he recorded this? I would agree. Worst song so far. I do think looking at the track listing, the album is definitely stacked, like No Rest for the Wicked. You know, Mr. Tinker Train, I Don't Want to Change the World, Mama, I'm Coming Home, Desire, and No More Tears. If I was to do the Aussie best of, like a 2-disc Aussie best of, I'm probably going to put all 5 of those songs on there. Probably. This one wouldn't even be considered, so. That's a drinking game that nobody should partake in, Justice. Wikipedia is not showing Sin as being a single. Let me have a look. It's a nice vocal harmony, and this is Beatles, isn't it? This is Ozzy trying to be Beatles. The Ultimate Sin was a single, which was from the album The Ultimate Sin. You broke me. This is very much Ozzy trying to. He's bringing in his Beatles influence, isn't he? These are the. Well, we don't want the Wikipedia page up. We want the Spotify page up. So you're saying it was a B-side on No More Tears? Let me have a look. Yeah, so Sin was a B-side on the No More Tears single. Hello, little synth wind part. Didn't like that. Still think the drums on this album are just weak. No, it's totally okay, Philip. I mean, when you said that, I went and looked around because obviously, I mean, this album came out in 1991. I was 3 years old. Like, I don't remember this album coming out. I'm learning a lot about the history of these albums as well in doing these streams. So I guess the struggle I'm having listening to this now is it better? Is it better than Diary of a Madman? Is it better than Diary of a Madman? It's a really hard decision. It's a really hard decision. And now's the time to make it because the album doesn't get a lot better from here on out. Zombie Stomp's fine, AVH is fine. Road to Nowhere is a nice song, right? But it's not what I want on an Ozzy album. Well, the whole point of these streams, Philip, is that I did have an all-time favourite Ozzy album in my mind, at least, and this was me giving them all a really objective listen so I could reorder them. I always thought I liked Blizzard of Oz more than I liked Diary of a Madman, but I definitely like Diary of a Madman more than I like Blizzard of Oz. Growing up, my favourite Ozzy album was Osmosis, which is the next album. I'll be listening to that next week. That's kind of where I'm leaning with this, Evan. This intro here, like, it doesn't need to be here. It's already a long album. It's already, best part of an hour. So it's 15 minutes longer than Diary of a Madman. There's no reason to have used a minute for this little intro. It's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to do Welcome to the Jungle or something? It's like Welcome to the Jungle that never starts. Still going, man. A minute and a half. I cannot believe someone didn't look at this and say, we need to cut this bit. We're heading for 2 minutes of this. I do think, though, Philip, Osmosis is still going to come first for me. I love that album, and you'll see why when we listen to it next week, assuming you check out the stream. It's gone over the 2 minute mark now. Like, this is unacceptable. Rhythmically, this is it's very extreme. Those vocal harmonies, that's very like the Ultimate Sin era. That's not Ozzy doing that. Zombie Stomp. Who sung that part? Who sung that? Zombie Star. That wasn't Ozzy. No way was that Ozzy. The mix on that is those backing vocals are too loud. Let's listen to it. Cut this song. It doesn't need to be on the album. Doesn't need to be on the album. No, the vocal's too good. I feel like these were all like these vocals were added after the fact to in the post, mix time to fill out the song, pad it out a little bit. Definitely not Zakk. Thank you very much. Filio Bates Terribilis, is that Philo Bates? I don't. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah, I think you could delete this song. You remove the song from the album. It doesn't need to be there. So Philip, Ozzy was well known for that. His manager Sharon Osbourne, she removed people's credits from albums all the time. When Diary of a Madman was released, the album was released. She removed credit from the original bass player and drummer and just put Ozzy's new bass player and drummer in there, despite the fact they didn't play anything on the album. With Bark at the Moon, after writing and recording it all, Jake E. Lee, the guitar player, afterwards he was given a contract and he had to relinquish all of his songwriting credits for the album. It was released solely credited to Ozzy Osbourne as writing all music and all lyrics. Ozzy can't play any musical instruments, Ozzy doesn't even write his own lyrics, let alone writing his own music. So it doesn't surprise me that there's been a session singer in here doing some backing vocals. Definitely not Ozzy. Sharon Osbourne has been a cancer to Ozzy's career. I mean, he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for her, but also at the same time, like, she has treated so many people so poorly. Slide guitar, cool. More slide guitar. Okay, so this album's definitely not as good as Diary of a Madman. I will say that I think Mr. Tinker Terrain, I Don't Want to Change the World, Mama I'm Coming Home, Desire, No More Tears, the first 5 tracks start off much better than Diary of a Madman. It had the potential to be better than Diary of a Madman, but it drops off. And although this is Bob Daisley on bass, it just doesn't have that Bob Daisley bass character to it. This sounds like Extreme. Sharon did, yeah. If only you could find some books on slide guitar. Damn it, I fucked it. That riff is very Nuno Betancourt. Ba-ba-ba. They've tried to put some chord changes in there, you know, and they work, but it just doesn't save the song. When I look at Diary of a Madman, there's not a single song that I'd take off that album. Whereas with this one, you know, Zombie Stomp can go. This song probably doesn't need to be here. Let me see. So the album, checking the lengths. See, the original album release was 57 minutes, okay? You could cut Zombie Stomp off it and take it down to 51 minutes. And you could cut AVH off it and take it down to 46 minutes. Take it down to 46 minutes, okay? Diary of a Madman was 43 minutes long. So now we're getting into that territory of like, if you buy an album, would you like to have 2 extra songs in there that maybe aren't the best? This doesn't sound like an Ozzy song to me. Oh, my favourite Black Label album? That's a hard question. Probably The Blessed Hell Ride. That could totally be nostalgia, though, because that was the first Black Label album I got. That's a great example of an album that doesn't outstay its welcome. You know, it's a short album. Don't like this song at all. Bow, bow, bow. This is a nice song. And it's a shame that this is so far in the album. Again, me. It just won't leave me alone. I still find it all a mystery. Could it be a dream? This is a live staple for Ozzy. Though, interestingly, I think the live versions of this song are probably better than this. The road to nowhere's gonna pass me by. Oh, switch to minor. So, if you look at my face now, I'm just listening like this, right? And I didn't put that on. I'm not forcing it. This is just me listening. And if you rewound this stream to about half an hour ago, when we were in that first 5-song part, I think it was during Desire, I looked like this. And again, that was genuine. I think that says everything that needs to be said about this album. It does drop off. It drops off. I'm not going to listen to the bonus tracks. EMG still rule. Yeah. There we go. That'll be the end of No More Tears. So, in review, I love it. I love it up until track 5, and Won't Be Coming Home isn't bad. Hellraiser's not the worst. Time After Time, I do like the song actually. Zombie Stomp you can absolutely get rid of, doesn't need to be on the album. AVH probably doesn't need to be on the album either. Road to Nowhere I'm okay with being on the album. So if you were to cut those 2 songs, you'd still have a 9-track album, which wouldn't be the worst. See what Paul says. I still like this record, but I would agree record was 10 minutes shorter. It would feel stronger. And yeah, I think that's probably the best word that you could have used, right? You didn't say better, right? Because as a fan of an artist, if they released an album and then, a couple of years later they said, there are actually 2 more songs that we could have put out on that album, but we decided not to put them out, I'd feel, well, why didn't you just put them on there? Like, I still want to hear it type thing. It wouldn't make the album better, but it would make it stronger as a listening experience. I'm glad that we have these songs. It's nice that they exist. But yeah, they do weigh the album down a little bit. They make the album drag out just a little bit longer than it probably needs to. Like I say, it's quite a long album on its own. I'm just trying. Well, I'm trying to compare it to Diary of a Madman and think, like, is it better than Diary of a Madman? And I have to say no, because I'm trying to justify it in my mind. I'm trying to say, well, if I just ignore these 2 songs, if I just ignore Zombie Stomp and AVH, is it then better than Diary of a Madman? But really working out the answer to that question is irrelevant, isn't it? Because those 2 songs are there. And that makes it a weaker album than Diary of a Madman, because Diary of a Madman doesn't contain any filler, not in my mind. There's no songs on that you do without. This has moments that you could do without, and because of that, it's definitely not better than Diary of a Madman. But I do think it's better than Blizzard of Oz. Because, my criticism of Blizzard of Oz is that theme-wise... Hang on, let me just sniff. as a theme-wise, when you listen to Blizzard of Oz, it's all over the place. Like sometimes it's a rock album, sometimes it's a bit metal, sometimes it's a bit gothic, sometimes it's a blues album. Like it's all over the place, and I love it. It's a great album. It's still one of my favourite Ozzy records. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of high points, to me, it's got some great moments like Crazy Train, obviously, and Revelation. Those are like high points for me on the album. I Don't Know is pretty good. I don't like Suicide Solution. I wouldn't cut it from the album, but I don't like Suicide Solution. Like No Bone Movies, like it's not the best. I like the tune, but it doesn't really fit on the album type thing. In terms of like if you had to grade all of the songs on Blizzard of Oz out of 10, this album, No More Tears, has more songs that you would rate highly, I would say. Tinker Train, I Don't Want to Change the World, Mama I'm Coming Home, Desire, and No More Tears is enough to say it's better than Blizzard of Oz, for me. I would be quite happy if the album just ended there. I'll go one better. Than that. So I'm very much of the opinion that Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction is the best rock album, the best hard rock album ever made. If this album stopped at track 5, or if I was, when I was listening to it and it got to the end of No More Tears, in my mind I was going, Jesus, this is, as far as rock albums go, this could be one of the best of all time. It's that strong, I think, up until the end of No More Tears, and then it weakens off a little bit. Won't Be Coming Home. Sin isn't the worst. Hellraiser, not the worst. Time After Time, totally not the worst. But Zombie Stomp and AVH are just so. And the question I have to ask is: are they so bad? Are they weak? Are they genuinely weak songs? If you'd put Zombie Stomp as track 2 on this album, would you feel it was as weak a song as you do after getting through 8 other songs to get to it? I don't know the answer to that. I feel like it's weak, but maybe it's the fact that it's not the best song and it's come after so many great songs. Point is, not that kind of ruins it a little bit. Road to Nowhere, they close on a high note. I'll give it that. Like that song's pretty good, but overall, I would have to say it is better than Blizzard of Oz. I do think it is better than Blizzard of Oz. In those first 5 tracks, there is some phenomenal guitar work, like masterclass guitar work, absolute masterclass in guitar. On those first few tracks, on those first 5 tracks. No More Tears I still think is one of the greatest rock solos ever, like, because it's so epic, so unbelievably epic. We think of Slash as being the epic rock guitar guy, right? And you think of like the November Rain solo or the Sweet Child of Mine solo, where they are supposed to be super, super epic. But I think nothing comes close to that No More Tears. The bell hits when the guitar, that's killer. I absolutely love that. So that will put it as Diary of a Madman, No More Tears, Blizzard of Oz, No Rest for the Wicked, The Ultimate Sin, Bark at the Moon. That's a change from where I thought it was. I always thought Bark at the Moon was going to be very high up. So for that one to solidly be at the bottom is interesting. But what do you guys think? Please do let me know in that comment section. I do appreciate your input. And I've enjoyed doing these. I'm looking forward to doing the next one, Osmosis, because Osmosis is probably my favourite Ozzy Osbourne album. It is probably my favourite Ozzy Osbourne album. I think it contains his best vocal performance. I think it contains some of his best outright rock songs. I think it's got some great solos on it. The guitar playing is probably not as cool, as shit hot as it is on No More Tears. But as an album, I think thematically it fits well. Like everything gels really well on that album for me. And I guess that's all I really have to say. I just want to check something about that album, actually. Let me check that. I know, of course it's not. It was Undercover, right? I always forget this, right? On the album Undercover, Jerry Cantrell played all the guitars on Undercover. I'm not even considering that an Ozzy album, though, because it's all covers. So I'm really, really excited to listen to Osmosis. I'm being completely honest, right? I haven't listened to No More Tears in years. I haven't listened to No Rest for the Wicked in years. I hadn't listened to The Ultimate Sin for years. I hadn't listened to Bark at the Moon for quite a long time. I'd listened to Diary quite recently, and I'd listened to Blizzard quite recently. But I have listened to Osmosis very recently. And I listen to Osmosis semi-regularly. So it's absolutely an album that I know that I'm going to love, because it's one that I still listen to all the time. So, expect that one to go straight to number one for me. Expect everyone to totally disagree with me, but I do think it's very strong. But there you go. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Do the usual thing. Thank you very much to my Patreon supporters. There's a link in the description if you would like to check me out on Patreon. There's also, next to my subscribe button, just down here, there's a join button. You can also join me as a VIP supporter on YouTube. It's similar to the Patreon thing. You just don't give your money to Patreon, and YouTube take much more of a percentage of it. I think they take like 30% of the money that I get on there, whereas Patreon take 5%. So obviously I prefer Patreon, but if you don't want to support me on Patreon and you would rather do that on YouTube, that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to do either of those and you want a book, then head to Amazon, have a look for Levi Clay, and I'm sure you will find something that you enjoy. There's some slide guitar stuff on there. I mean, no Zakk Wylde slide stuff, but there is some slide guitar stuff, so you can maybe imitate some of that Zakk Wylde stuff. But this has been an absolute blast, guys. Let me see if there's any last comments come in. Zombie Stomp is a great song. Love the intro and the build-up to the guitar. The lyrics are fun and the overall energy of the song is high. I mean, everyone's allowed an opinion, Terence. You're allowed to be wrong. Okay, that's fair enough. But then you do then say Osmosis is your favourite Ozzy album, so you're not wrong about everything. Tomorrow is such a wicked song. Is that... Yeah, Tomorrow, I think, is the song Tomorrow, I think, is Ozzy Osbourne's best vocal performance. When that vocal comes in that chorus, it's just so... He's screaming into that microphone, and I don't think you've ever heard Ozzy scream into a microphone as passionately as he does on that song. So, yeah. But we'll talk about Osmosis when I do that stream. Hello, Scott from East Kilbride. Hello, HK. How's it going? Hello, Nick. How's it going? I think I'm going to drive over to East Kilbride tonight, maybe. It's the closest Burger King I have, and I really feel like a Burger King now. Anytime I see East Kilbride, I think of the nearest Burger King to me. Henrik, you are very welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Nick, thank you for tuning in. Always appreciate your input, man. And that's going to be it for me. So goodbye, guys. See you again soon. I'll probably be streaming. Let me think about this. I'll probably do the stream on Wednesday night. I'll probably do the Osmosis album on Wednesday night. Will I ever do a rock book? I mean, maybe. I'm not the world's greatest rock player, you know. I might do one. I don't like to tread on the toes of the other authors that I work with. Other authors that are published, I consider that, as colleagues. So we've got great rock guys at Fundamental Changes, and I would why step on their toes and write a rock book when they can write great rock books? I prefer to write about the things that they can't do. I can write slide books because no one's going to tread on my toes. I can do the country books because no one's going to tread on my toes. I am planning a hybrid picking book, which will be somewhere between the rock and the country thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, there you go, little tease. Go and watch my new video. Go and watch the poem, the TTM poem. I had a lot of fun doing that. So goodbye.